if we're really in, if we are really in our humanity, if that is humanity, what we're looking at or what we're experiencing, right and wrong falls away.
And
Now,
that's that Rumi quote. There
is
is
it?
a place beyond right and wrong. I will meet you there. There's a lot more to that, but that's a
So
Rumi quote.
getting back to Marianne, then I think she's been in the Israel Palestine thing. She is articulating and communicating humanity as a possibility, because right now there's not humanity going on over there on either side. There's no humanity as I see it, because there's a rightness and a wrongness for most of those people. And
Right.
this is back to this thing I wasn't sure I wanted to share. So I was walking from the gym yesterday, walking from the gym yesterday, and outside the UN there was a big group of Israelis, and I stopped and started listening, and they were all about this is right and they're wrong, and they use those words, and they're this one guy at the end was speaking, he was saying we got to be strong and we got to be aggressive. Some of those weren't the right words, but strong and committed, something like that. But then I'm saying, well, wait a minute. The people on the other side, they're strong and committed too, but there's a rightness or wrongness, in that, and that is not humanity. And that's what, and so anyway, when I turned around because I got annoyed by, this position this guy was taking, and I turned around to this guy who was part of the protest, and I said, well, what's up with this? What's this right and wrong? And he got totally annoyed because he was stuck in being right. And I said, well, who's right and who's wrong? I mean, how you? I said, that's never going to get resolved. You're never going to resolve that. Um, and I mean, the only resolution is whatever we can bring and define as humanity. I mean, that's the only possibility as I see it. That right and wrong, and it's not going to work. It's never going to work. It's not possible to work in that.
And
Is one side beating the other side or vice versa. That doesn't work. That's why war doesn't work, period.
and when you use the word humane, Oscar,
Yeah,
that pulls you right out of that right and wrong. If
yeah,
you're humane, because I think a lot about tribalism. I think tribalism has been around as long as humanity's been around. And that's where so many wars come up, are with, around tribalism. But how people treat others, what we call the other, the person in the other tribe, somehow we've adopted this way of not being humane to someone that is from the other tribe. And so we have a right then, to do whatever we want to do.
I think we can. I think you're right. I think that tribalism, I think, was this division. I think you're talking about one side versus another side. But I think we can be. I think we still can be human. We can be right for ourselves about something,
Mhm,
and somebody else can be right about something for themselves.
mhm.
But where we run into problems, we're imposing that on the other person
Right.
or the other group. So I think tribes are fine, and they should live their life the way they want to live it, and over here live it the way they want to live it. I mean, that's where I see it, and that's human. That can be humanity. That could be humane to do it that way. If
Well,
and
and that's the thing, I'm really stuck on that word humane, because if we behave humanely toward the other,
right,
we perceive as the other, it, kind of fixes it all.
yeah, right, and we're not willing to do that. We're willing to know what's right for us, but also impose it on other people. That's not going to work. It's never going to work, as I see it.
I, in the big picture, or in a slightly different picture, I think that people want to be humane. If you look at what war has become, people have become more removed than they were before because of the advancement of technology. And I think part of that is to kind of hide from the fact that war itself is inhumane. You know, it's kind of a way of shielding um, the human wound that war instantly gives us, no matter which side you're on.
Right.
And I think that that same kind of abstraction, that distancing from things it allows for complacency, and it ends up getting us where we are now, in many different fields. And so I think that diving deeper into humanity is what we all need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I was talking earlier, you weren't here, Oscar. I don't know if you were here, Oscar. Somebody's dinging me up, and it might be one of you. But I was talking about my aunt who had talked about the fact that she's realized she's been complacent politically,
Right.
or has become complacent. Um, and the way that it kind of wounded her in her voice, that I could hear, like she wasn't happy about that fact. Um, that also opened up her humanity. Like it opened up a space for her to move more towards that humanity.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, um, thinking about what we can do, and maybe we should see if we can get people to question their complacency some more.
Mm.
How removed are you? Um, just to get that seed in their mind.
I think
We,
that's fascinating, Ree. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to close this off because we're at the top of the hour. I'm not ready for it because I was doing this. Um, but when we come back after this short video, we'll continue with our next two quotes. Going like that. I sometimes sing to myself when I do technical stuff, little directions. Here we are.
What we are going through right now is baked into the cake here. Marianne, what are we going to do? Marianne, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Marianne, what are we going to do?
Hey,
Marianne,
hey. Baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, ay, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake.
If government isn't doing its job, then the people have the right to alter it.
We tryna fight that racial injustice. We headed to the White House, I love this. They want us to give up, but we got this. We not going away, we the topic. We going state to state with the evidence until we make some change like the president. Marianne is the one to get the job done. A better democracy is the outcome. Baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake. Baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake. Woo!
That split mind, which is American consciousness, is baked into the cake, baked into the cake, baked into the cake.
Baked in a cake, 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 baked in a cake.
Once again, let the people get in there. We'll handle it from here. I have run for president before. I am not naive. I understand that in their mind, only those people whose careers have been entrenched in the car that drove us into this ditch should possibly be considered qualified to lead us out of this. No, ladies and gentlemen, the problem is not that it's complicated. The problem is that it is corrupt. A real grown-up does not knowingly allow a child to go hungry. And an emergency level just transition from a war economy to a peace economy. No one person can fix it. The president who lays it down and says it like it is would do a lot of good.
So if you're watching us on Facebook live stream, please do take a moment to invite a friend. I have here a special request quote, and I think it's actually within our list, but I'm going to start by reading it. And here we're going to do a little bit of a different take. So is this quote from, and there may be a third person I don't know about, but is this quote from Marianne or Dr. King? It goes, "Until we have seen someone's darkness, we don't really know who they are. Until we have forgiven someone's darkness, we don't really know what love is." If you know, then you must unmute your mic.
I said, I know whose it is, and I also know who sent it. That's a Marianne quote. I feel like I'm in a contest. That's kind of fun.
Well, you won. It is it's a contest of keeping it alive.
Until 9 o'clock.
We have the power though, because we have the dedication.
We do.
I love that quote.
Mhm.
I love that quote because people are so easy and quick in my life. When I was younger, before I just decided to love everybody. Like I love everybody. I've had friends say, "You just love everybody." I'm like, why do you say that like that's a negative thing? Because I realized some people start at 0 and you can grow your love for them, or some people start with me. I start everybody at 100%, and all you can do is enhance that or bring it down. But I used to never believe that people could love me because they didn't know me, and I'm like, you better get to know me before you talk so much about how much you love me, because I have another side, many. And so when I read that quote by Marianne, I said, yeah, because we both have that shadow side, the light side, the dark side. And it's interesting in grad school, what we learned is the dark side and the light side are not right and wrong. It's just the light side and the dark side. It's just the light side and the shadow. The shadow self is that self that you learn to tuck inside of yourself because it wasn't accepted by whatever tribe was around you, which didn't necessarily mean it was wrong. It just meant that where you were, in order to exist, you couldn't show that part of yourself.
Absolutely.
And so oftentimes I like to take time, to get to know a person, for them to get to know me, so that they do get to see, that shadow side of me. And that shadow side of me comes out in a different way now. It doesn't come out like in a bratty, spoiled, just no consideration for others kind of way. Unfortunately for me, I had to learn most of the time that shadow side came out attacking myself most of the time. And anybody who loves me doesn't enjoy seeing that, you see. And so to really, really get to know a whole person, like so many people like, oh, we love you, Marianne, we just love you. When I'm on, when I'm on these calls with her and it's like all these other people, oh, I just love you so much, I love you. And I'm like, you don't even know her, dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know her. I don't even know her. I know her.
So,
And
go ahead.
yes.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
I think with that quote, she's knowing that People need to get closer to her to know the real side of her, to know that other side and those other aspects of her. And then if you can accept me at my worst, not meaning that I'm going around being an ogre, but if you can accept me at my lowest, then maybe I can start to believe that you could love me, because you sure can't love me if you don't know me, you know? And I know this because I had done a deep study on narcissists, because I attract narcissists. And one thing about them is that they treat everybody bad. They don't believe you love them because they know that you don't know them, because they know that they never show you their real self on a subconscious level. And so therefore, when you love them, they hate you because they know that you're stupid, because you don't even know the real person. So for me, I love all of humanity more and more the older that I get, because I see myself, like when people say, oh, such and such is just inhuman, go into the conversation you're having about humanity. They're just a monster. They're an animal. What insult to monsters and animals? Humans can do some stuff, just being human beings. That's what we're seeing. We're not saying monsters. Oh, no, we got to take that L. We're saying human beings. These are the things that can come out of human beings. You see? And so how do we tap into our more light-filled or more loving nature?
Let me answer that question.
I can't. Go ahead.
So your question was, how do we tap into that light, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My simple answer to that is we just be our light. And let me tell you what Marianne says about that, and what she has been saying about that. And I'm going to read also a quote from Marianne, which I think addresses that. This quote says, as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
That's right.
As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence actually liberates others. Now, what I hear in that is actually a little bit not contradictory to that other quote, but I accept the responsibility for anything outside of me. But let me change that. Yeah, let me change that. Do I accept the responsibility? I can accept the responsibility. I make a choice to be the light or not be the light. And actually be responsible by shining my light unconsciously, giving other people permission to do the same as I am liberated from my own fear. That actually liberates others.
He sat back and said proudly as he quoted Marianne.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Yes, here.
Yeah.
That the profundity of that is not lost on us, because I think that we're people who seek the light.
Right.
And then we have to accept that not everybody does. And then that's
but also
where they are.
Yes, right. That's where they are. But to the extent they don't accept the light, and we're trying to be in relationship with them, we can choose to let that darkness be dark, or we can bring our light to that, is what she's saying, and make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that that's what we're doing. That's what Dr. King did. And he knew that the consequences of that could be dire for him. He said, I've been to the mountaintop, right. I've seen that mountaintop. And I know I may not get there with you. Okay.
Right.
Because he knew that what was probably going to happen. But we as a people, that people that he was indicating is humanity. We as a people will get to the mountaintop. And so where we're going through right now, as hard as it is to kind of go through it sometimes, I have to believe on a spiritual level that what's happening is that the light is shining so bright, because we know what happens when light shines. Darkness scatters and all of iggy, biggy, little nasty, quitty stuff comes out. And I think because consciousness has been growing, has been raising, we're getting to this really painful part of the human experience where it's weeded out. But just like what Jesse is saying, what's going to come out of this is a place where we are more humane with one another, where we're more accepting of one another, where bullshit doesn't even get under the radar anymore. But this is that part that is weeded out. And I could say some really strange things on a spiritual level, but I want to spare everybody that because they would think I'm way weirder than Marianne. But wherever they thought Marianne, they'd be like, that one, of course. But, you know, on a certain level, like I said earlier, with reading Carolyn Myss' Sacred Contract, I read that when I was a teenager. I need this to be taken the right way, I need this not the right way, because I'm going with your Oscar with the right and wrong, but I need this to be taken in a way that I knowing that I intend no offense. If we look at sacred contracts and we all kind of agreed to be here, and this is the role we were to play. On a spiritual level, with my spiritual teachers, what I'm taught is that, you know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we chose to be here. We chose this life. We chose this sacrifice. We chose, you know, I want to do this. Here's what my gift is. Here's what my experience is. Here's on my spiritual path journey what I want to learn. What my spiritual teachers would teach me is that even these babies that keep me up crying, I will walk around, I will see them. My friend Glenn told me, stop watching those videos, LB, because there's a guy who puts out cell phone videos from people in Gaza.
Oh God.
And I'll just start crying. I mean, I turned on one time and the lady was holding her baby, strapped no head down in there, cut his neck. I saw this baby, 3 years old, take his last breath and die. Like my baby so many times in my arms. And he said, LB, stop watching those videos. And so my spiritual teachers would tell me that these spiritual entities came here to the earth to sacrifice, to go through that, to be those beings that show humanity itself, saying we cannot operate on this level anymore. And that their love on a spiritual level is so huge that they opted for this. Okay, and I know how out there that sounds.
I get that.
See, and that in no way excuses us.
Yeah.
That in no way says, oh, well, yeah, well, you came to, you know. And I told Marianne one time, I told Marianne this, I shared this with her when I was sitting at your apartment, you and Tina's apartment. And I said, Marianne, I'm not saying it this way like a crazy person, saying the stuff that, you know, I have gone through in my life. I'm just so happy, I'm so blessed. No. But what I'm saying is those things that I was allowed to experience and survive have made me more compassionate, more aware of my humanity, so that when I see the suffering of others, I feel like I have been blessed to be able to be the voice of those who suffer. I haven't gone through so much that it ruined me, that it obliterated me, that it, you know, totally wiped me out. And that was a choice, because I could have just chose to be crazy and just be a crackhead. It would have been the easiest thing to do. Why don't I just be a crackhead? Why don't I just smoke something? Why don't I just, you know, yeah, we can all make that choice. But I wanted, though, consciously, I wanted those experiences not to define who I am as a human being. I mean, what will happen if I try to be a person who is more vibrating of light than anybody would expect me to be? What will happen if I try? And then there are people in my life that I've known long enough who've seen the lower vibration iterations of myself that still love me. And that's how I learn love, from darkness. I'm like, damn, you love me? Oh man. I wouldn't think you love me if I went around being all nice and I needed that. I needed them to love me in spite of my dark side, my dark aspects. And so that's why I picked that quote. And I'll go here and I'll be quiet. So what I'm struggling with is to recognize the humanity of the people that are dancing and singing songs about what they're doing to Palestinians, for example, because they're not the only ones who are doing things to people on this planet. I am challenging myself to see their humanity.
No, well, I don't think there's any humanity in that.
No, there's not any humanity in their acts,
Yeah,
but
right.
they as entities are still human beings.
Yeah, well, that's another exception I take. I think if we look at the darkness, when we look at the darkness, or if we look at the darkness, when we look at the darkness, when one looks at darkness, I think we have to separate the darkness from the individual, or that individual's humanity. So they're acting in a humane way. I get that. And we can definitely attack that and go against that and bring our to that. But that humanity, I think, is always there.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. And I think
I'm saying seeing their humanity
yeah.
beyond their behavior and their
Yes.
actions, because
Yes.
these are actions that were taken against them as a
Yes.
people at some point.
Yes.
Seeing if I am cut, do I not bleed? Like if somebody grabbed one of them out and started doing this to them, if they said, okay, well, this person was a soldier and he did this, that, and the third, we stand him there and let's say we put him in this and we start torturing him. Do I not feel for him because of his actions? Well, his behaviors were inhumane and they were dark, but that's still a human being. And do I sacrifice my humanity in order to hate him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to bring us back to that word
What they've
complacency.
done.
Absolutely. And I want to bring it back to that complacency thing, because the level that we're talking right now is on that spiritual level, that really humane level. And I think at a different level, that's where that complacency comes in. It's just people's willingness to just let things be as they are. Knowing they're not even agreeing with them or necessarily want to do anything about it. They just leave it and get complacent. So yeah, even in complacency, you don't go to war. You don't have to go to war, but you got to speak up. Right? You got to speak up. You got to say something.
Because saying nothing is saying something. It's saying that you don't care enough to say something.
Yeah, and that's inhumane, really.
Which is the bane of our campaign.
Pardon me?
Which is the bane of our campaign for the people who do know better, that are choosing to say nothing, be complacent, not rock the boat, just leave me alone. Let's just go through. That is the bane of our campaign. So it's not really all our people out there who've not been exposed to Marianne, who do not know what we're talking about. It's those that do, yet still choose go along with the status quo.
Yeah. And that's
well, I think the new thing is that everybody should just try to get canceled. Because if everybody was canceled, then nobody would be worried about getting fucking canceled, and they could say what they want to say.
That's right.
They could say what they should.
Die.
So no sense.
Dwayne Dyer did a thing about dying. I wish I had the story, but it's almost like the buffalo going into the heart of the storm. Cancel me. Here I am. Hate me. I wanted to bring this up when Rita was on. She would appreciate this. When she wanted me to do the show with her, we had a discussion about whether to do it live or not. And she wanted to go live. And I said, I don't want to go live, because you can make a mistake and say something that people don't like. And then they all, slam you and drag you all over social media. She goes, no, LB, I think we should go. We should talk live. I said, no, I want to do it recorded so that, sorry. So that, if I say something wrong, we can edit it out. She said, no, LB, we can do this. Come on, And I wanted to share with her how I have absolutely no fear like I had before about I go live all the time. And if you want to cancel me, good. I mean, I was born cancer. I was born a little po-ass black child in Detroit. I was bone cancer.
Right.
What am I worried about? Now what? What are you going to do? Tickle me? So, and bring it on, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
they canceled me. See this hair? They canceled me when I did this to my hair. When I did this to my hair years ago, this was not popular. locking your head up, what problem with my family? People like, why did you do that to your hair? When are you going to cut them? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that?
Right.
I'm like, when are you going to have that plastic surgery? Oh, I didn't say I was going to have plastic surgery. And I said, I didn't say I was going to cut my hair. What's wrong with you? I don't care if you don't like my hair. I don't care what you don't like. Go look in the mirror. See what I got to go through.
Well, when you all were talking about Marianne Williamson's quote about darkness and um, the people that love you will have seen your darkness and still love you. That was a botched requote. I was thinking of that's such a juxtaposition to the way that she's been talked about, like she's this mean lady. Oh, and she threw a cell phone and she yelled at people, and it's like, well, of course. Is she running a campaign? Is she in charge? Did she yell, "Oh my God, I want it done yesterday"?
Have we yelled?
What I yelled.
Have we
And
thrown phones?
right. And if this is her dark side that's been explained to us, like what the fuck?
You're right.
Like that's her dark side, and you're
Phone.
so upset.
Right.
She's Darth Vader. Meanwhile, they're voting for the man who says, pull the women by their feet. Meanwhile, they vote for him, but she can't even throw a cell phone. If you're going to be president of the United States, you need to be able to get angry, and you need to be able to throw something, and you need to be able to. I wouldn't even want her to be president if she didn't have a dark side.
Absolutely.
Gotta be a full human being.
Absolutely.
Would they want to be a cartoon character? That's the Madonna whore syndrome. Pat, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Madonna whore
I'm doing
syndrome.
my best to stay awake for 20 more minutes.
I know. Pat, you're mad. Throw your phone, damn it. Say, you damn people, I'm sleeping. That's what we all ought to do. We all ought to just start going, damn it. Now, what are you gonna say, people? Even our Christian brothers and sisters. I was raised as a Christian, and I'm no religion now, but I love the part when them people was up in the church selling stuff and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus went in there and kicked their ass like an OG gangster. He beat them with straps. He pushed over the tables. Oh, but they didn't want to say anything about that. Marianne throws a phone and they're upset. But Jesus Christ kicked ass. You made him mad. Why do you think that we were shown that? Because there is something called righteous anger,
Right.
or it does exist. And even if it's not righteous, even if it's not right or wrong, we're human beings. We get angry. So what? Would you want a president that never got angry? Then they would say, "Oh, Marianne is a Zen master, and do you want a Zen master in the president?" She can't win for losing. No matter what she says, no matter what she does, she can't win, not because of her darkness, but because of their ignorance and misogyny.
Misogyny, big time. I've been shocked by female misogyny that I've
Yes.
seen in relation to Marianne. It's just insane to me. But there we are. The dark side.
Welcome to the dark side. And that's why we got to do some of that ridiculous stuff. Some of the stuff that people don't expect. And I think what you're saying, let's all get canceled.
Yep.
Let's get now what? Now you
Right.
cancel me, you don't like me, I'm unattractive, I'm not wanted. Now what? See, I was born that way. Really, I was born that way. Cold, black ass child. You know what I'm saying? Nappy hair, big lips, all the stuff that was so bad that the kids in my neighborhood, who look just like me, by the way, when we talk about self-hatred and the need for reparations, who look just like me. Oh, you're black, you're ugly. You see what I'm saying? That's how bad that wounding is for them. Because usually what I tell my clients and stuff when I work with people, I'm like, they say, oh, LB, oh, I just love you. You just have such a light that's coming from you. Oh, really? I said, oh, so did you know that we can't see anything but ourselves? And if you see light coming from me, it's your light that you're seeing reflected. So thank you for showing me what a beautiful person you are. And they're like, see, when somebody comes to me and they say, this person is a bad person, they're this, that, and the other, they can't tell me anything about that person. They're telling me something about themselves.
Right.
Like, oh, I know not to deal with your ass. That's what I know.
Right.
I laughed at my daddy. My daddy and I used to talk for a long time, all the time. And my daddy said, we were talking about people who are always complaining, nobody likes me, everybody's always against me, they just stabbing me in my back, and even my own mama don't like me. And then my daddy said, what? If your own mama don't like you, I don't like your ass either. I said, Daddy. He said, I know. Your mama know you better than anybody else. She don't like you. Go away. People are usually telling you about themselves. And so what does Marianne tell us about herself? What does Dr. Martin Luther King tell us about themselves? They're fully human and fully loving. And in that quote, Marianne tells us that she has a dark side. She's telling you I have a dark side, and telling you that that's the only way that you can truly love somebody is once you see their dark side. Oh, now dare you love somebody for real? Dare you do it? Because it's not called the dark side for no damn reason.
Well, in her campaign, I can really see how much she loves humans, like the species, like all of us. And that's really inspiring. Because as I say, I'm working towards loving humanity fully, which of course means, let's admit it, I'm still working on loving myself fully. But it's inspiring. I got no more words. Oh, I did want to say this earlier, and it may sound sort of silly. I was thinking the other day about like what kind of yoga is Marianne practicing with this campaign? Because when I was doing yoga teacher training and stuff, there's like, all these different kinds of yoga. There's like jhana yoga, which is intelligence and learning more. There's, the pranayama where you breathe. There's all these different kinds of yoga practices. There's the chanting kind. But there's this Kriya yoga, which is the yoga of devotion, where you just devote yourself to the service of, and then the last part's kind of left off because different people devote themselves in service of different things. And she is really devoted to be in service for humanity,
Yeah.
For the continuation of humanity. And wow, that's incredible and inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, who do you see out there doing that now?
Nobody.
Definitely not our current and past presidents.
And nobody in the political field where it can really make a difference if we can get her in there.
The other person who else is out there? It's certainly not that guy, my body, whatever his name is, talking about the truth. I don't know if you ever listened to, what's his name, Vivek?
Oh, gosh.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah,
Always
he's
talking about
just
the truth.
he's a
It drives me nuts
bullshitter
with that.
slogan guy.
Yeah, he drives me nuts with that. And that's nowhere near what Marianne is talking about. There's whatever that truth is she's talking about, that's not the humanity conversation that Marianne's bringing forth and inspiring people about.
He's a confused used car salesman.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's more than that. It's that truth thing. It gets me. Everything,
Well, all of the politicians are just, I don't know. it seems to me that they've been picking up Marianne's language and kind of skewing it to their own needs. You know, like Vivek also talked about how we need more moral fiber in this
Oh,
country or
really?
something like that.
Really?
And I don't know if I saw the very first, like before he announced, I saw an interview with Dean Phillips where he was just thinking about it, you know, and his policies and what he had said were so different than what he ultimately ended coming out with. And now he has like all of these ideas and policies um, that track more closely with Marianne's campaign.
Mm.
Because you
And then, of
can't
course,
debate her if you don't copy her.
yeah, I guess you would just be slammed into the dirt, wouldn't you, in terms of helping people?
You know, you truly cannot debate her unless you. Oscar and I talked about it 2020. Biden did it. Remember after she left, then he started quoting those healing the soul of America. But you know, he's a well-known plagiarizer. That's why his past, you know, he got scandal in his past presidential runs. What he ran 2 times before. It ended in scandal. Oh gosh, he loves plagiarizing. And then they all started doing it. When she ran, they all started talking about reparations. And then as soon as she left, they slowly stopped. I challenge everybody to go on YouTube and look up Kamala. Now I'd be like the sports guy. This is what like the football guys. They say that moment in the game that they bring back. You know, I finally understood them. Okay, we're right in the presidential debates. Okay, Marianne's, she's up there. She's at the mic. She is about to, on the presidential stage, deeply go into her reparations pillar. Here she goes. And she's starting to. Then all of a sudden, here comes Kamala. Oh, they're the only black person up there. I want to talk about reparations. Okay, so she gets to be black when she feels like it. So then Marianne, not tough like she is now, I gotta defer to her. I gotta give the stage to her because wouldn't want to look like I'm, battling with the black woman. Because you wouldn't want people to cancel you and say you stepped on the toes of the black person. Okay. So she lets Kamala steal the ball and run with it with reparations. All right. Okay, good. Then Marianne gets out of the game. She drops out. And then somebody, a black reporter, woman, goes and is trying to ask Kamala about reparations. Go ahead, I got receipts. I got the video. So Kamala, what are you going to do for black people? Well, we're going to have a program and people are going to get something and black people will get something when other people get something too. No. I'm talking about reparations. You talk about reparations. What specifically are you going to do for black people? Oh, wow. I'm not going to do something to just benefit only black people. I got receipts. That's who y'all got in there.
Well, that's what Dean Phillips was saying on the debate. I actually did find the debate late and watched it this morning. I'm sad to say I've been like in a computer all day long. But that's what he did is he's instead of reparations, he's like, oh, well, we should give everybody a hand. And he turned the conversation towards UBI, which in UBI, and then he also has like a baby bond sort of deal. He doesn't call it baby bonds. But yeah, he slammed it into an everybody thing. Now, we probably will need a UBI to address poverty and income inequality and job loss with AI and all of that stuff. But that's a totally separate thing from reparations. The state that we are all in right now is different than addressing a wound of the past. It's just disappointing. Everybody who's not Marianne, or sorry, everybody who doesn't have Marianne's policies is just disappointing and not even worth a listen.
Yeah, and we do invite you to go to Marianne 2024 and get educated. Marianne 2024 and get educated. Marianne 24/donate and donate.
Please,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah.
If you believe this campaign has a right to exist, if you believe that it's worth it to have a different dialogue, if you believe that it's worth it to go to the source of good information instead of to the people who are trying to plagiarize it, just donate so we can keep her in the game. At least she'll make it interesting. Wouldn't it be fun to see Biden have to, debate her? Just, they're going to push him along anyway because you said she can't. You know what? I want to bring this up. I am so tired of you idiots who repeat over and over and over, she can't win. She's never going to win. She can't win. She's never going to win. I've never heard people say so much about somebody who can't win ever before. If she really can't win, then shut up and let her lose. What are you trying to do? Hypnotize us? Oh, she can't win. Shut up. If she can't win, let her lose then. Why do you have to keep saying it? Go ahead, vote for Biden, be happy, and leave us alone. Leave us to our delusions. But you, methinks thou dost protest too greatly, sir. Because if she really can't win, you would just shut up and leave it alone. Let the rest of us go to Marianne2024.com/donate and have our little party and leave us alone. You don't have to convince us you can't win.
Ditto. Absolutely.
Trying
That's
real
right.
hard.
I'm looking forward to Williamson Haley debate.
Ooh, that'd be
I hope
juicy.
we all just say goodbye, old dogs.
Just get 'em
Let's
in
let
there.
women have a chance.
Yes.
And we have a debate between Williamson and Haley. You know what? Everything's so crazy right now. There's the possibility for just about anything. So why not wish the things into life that you really want to see?
I would
And
love
I
that.
would enjoy that debate.
I would. That would be fun. So let's keep her in there. You guys like a good show. You love reality TV. What would be better than to see a matchup, Haley and Williamson? Come on, let's just have some fun with this. Keep Marianne on in there. Let's just have a great time. It'll be better than the Thriller in Manila. Let her kind of, get her chops ready on Kamala. Have a little fun with Kamala. That wouldn't take Marianne much. And then let her get in there with Haley. We're fighting for a primary. This is not a presidential candidate election yet, okay? This is just to let her stay in the game, guys. So if you ultimately see Marianne in the game and you go, okay, let's stop playing and go ahead and, put Biden to the rescue up there. That's what you really want. Or whomever else, keep her in the game. It'll be juicy. It'll be real fun. Just for entertainment's sake. Because I know we love entertainment. When I look and see how many people are at football games and stuff, and we can't even beg y'all to come and watch a debate. When we see all the tickets, the hot new movie out, when I see, concerts going for $1,000 a ticket, and we can't even get you to see Marianne for free. How about just some free entertainment? Let's keep her in there. How entertaining it'll be to hear Marianne talking to Biden. Now that'd be a good time.
And we'll bring all the crystals forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Diamonds. I'll bring my diamond that the wonderful Pat Farrell only gives to very special people. Now, don't be getting jealous because you ain't got no diamond. All right, just don't do it. All right, but this is my diamond that Pat Farrell gave me, and we'll just bring a lot of these instead of lighters. We'll be just don't like this.
I got crystals.
In the cake. Baked
I
in
got
the
one right
cake.
here.
I don't have
Oh, you
any
got one
crystals.
too?
I don't have any.
Oh, shoot. Oh, we got our crystals.
I gotta
Oh, no. We about to get canceled.
I gotta get some crystals.
Baked in the cake. Oscar, I'm going to send you a crystal.
Please, I gotta get some
Baked in the
crystals. I'll go outside to buy one. I'll definitely go buy one and follow up on this with a picture on this comment or something.
And Tina's going to go, Oscar, what are you doing? I know you don't have crystals.
I'm gonna get some crystals.
He's in here with crystals.
I'm not even sure I know what a crystal is, but I'll find out.
It's a rock. It's a rock.
Yeah.
It's part of the earth.
Yes.
Well, you
And so-
guys, we're here at the last 10 minutes. And a great way to sum up would be to, for each of us to say just why we support Marianne. Why the hell were you here all day long? What is so inspiring to you that got you to devote all of this time and energy to trying to get people to donate to Marianne's campaign?
Could I please go first?
Yes.
She's so sleepy. She is so sleepy.
I am
It's like
so
midnight.
exhausted. Oh my God. I am struggling. So my brain maybe will work a little bit. I think number one is I wouldn't do this for anybody else. Nobody else would get this.
Marianne.
And the hours that Rhea and I spent on the phone putting this together.
Bravo.
So the question is, why am I giving my time and energy to Marianne, right?
Mhm.
When I was talking with Wendy yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and I said a couple times, I know who Marianne is. And I do know who Marianne is because I have been following Marianne for well over 20 years. And I sat in the front seat at Renaissance Unity for 7 years, week after week after week, listening to Marianne, watching her oratory just get better and better and better and better. And then when Marianne was kicked out of her own church, and found other places to speak, I went there and heard her speak there, wherever she was. And I've read most of her books. She's endorsed 2 of mine. And I know who she is. I know who she is. And I have admiration beyond description for who she is and what she's doing. I mean, for her to be doing what she's doing is, God, I don't even know how to say it. Well, I think when on one of our videos, she's like Joan of Arc. She is just, talk about the buffalo going into the storm. She's going right to the stake. I mean, she is leading people to freedom, salvation. I'm not loving those words, but
Humanity.
to humanity, to potential, to the possibility of becoming a beloved community. And the effort that she puts in, the tenacity that she has, the brilliance that she has. I remember Wendy said one time, she's one of the brightest lights on the planet. And I absolutely agree with that. So in my half asleep state and my eyes drooping down, that's why I'm still sitting here for what? 7 more minutes.
She means that.
I do. When it's 9 o'clock, all the beautiful things you guys could say, I'm going to be upstairs in bed.
Like Oscar on our Step in America calls every Friday at noon. When it hits 1 o'clock, bam, closes it down. So join
Well,
us
on
at
that
stepinamerica.com.
On that note, we only have I can't do math anymore. I want to do our donate video, the last 2 minutes of our live stream. So
All right, real quick, I'll just say that while I spend this time, because I also know who Marianne is. I know who she 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 is. I haven't read any of her books.
mm,
I haven't been to any of her lectures. Well,
Yeah.
any of her spiritual lectures. I've heard her
Yeah.
speak. I've been in her presence. I know who she is. And I almost want to say, I think, and I was just checking myself because thought came to me, I want to be who she is.
Mhm.
And
oh,
she is who I am.
Mm.
hmm.
She is who I am. I want to be able to do what she's doing.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to be her. I want to be her in terms of what she's been achieving, what she's able to bring forth in humanity. That's who I want to be.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That was beautiful. I think I have an element of that too. Um, but I definitely see her devotion, and right now that has been like a salvation for me, in terms of um my climate awareness and depression and distraught. If she can keep going and fighting and um, fight for humanity and for all of these concerns of mine and yours and everyone's, then I can keep devoting myself and my time to this campaign because it is that important. I believe it is that important. I don't see another Marianne waiting in the wings, ready to step up 4 years from now.
Mm.
And I cannot bear the thought of continuing the way that we are for 4 more years. I do not consent to another 4 years of Biden or another 4 years of Trump. I could not give them my consent for anything. Why would I give them my vote, which is like giving them my consent to do whatever they're going to decide to do with my body, because we are talking about feminine body rights here. The only person I see that I could give that kind of consent to is Marianne. And so that's why I'm here.
Thank you, guys.
One of the many reasons. How
You
about
know,
you, LB?
I I try not to think about her often too seriously because if I think about her, it breaks my heart. It just makes me want to cry because I know she didn't know how difficult this would be. From 2020 to even now, I know she knew it would be difficult, but none of us saw this blackout, this blacklisting thing. And I just want to fight, fight, fight. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. And Pat, I don't believe in coincidences. I'm like an old movie buff. I used to watch movies like when I was a little girl. I used to watch Bill Kennedy at the movies, like starting at like 4 or 5 years old. It was my obsession. And one of the first movies I really fell in love with was Joan of Arc. And I remember when she goes, and if you set me free, I will go on. And she was like tied up and stuff on this pile of rocks. And she said, and if you let me go, I will go on freeing my people. Knowing that that was just a thing you don't say right then, I will go on freeing my people. She said, and if you should burn me, I shall kneel down in the fire and thank God for what he has given me. And Marianne reminds me of Joan of Arc too. And I really don't have any aspirations to be Joan of Arc or Marianne because I just don't feel like I ever could. And I'm here because I think, gosh, we're so fortunate and blessed to have a human being like that who's willing to step up to the plate like this and be this brave and try to just really be of service to us and open the door to the people. She's not doing this for her ego. like Hillary thought, oh, I earned this after being with Bill. It's all in the plan. Trump, oh, he was playing a game and it came true. Now he's addicted to it. Biden, it's I've been trying to do this for 50 years. My turn. It's all about their political aspirations. But Marianne really wants to be in service to the people. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever. Nobody here is perfect. She's a human being just like us, and she really, truly wants to be of service, and I want her there. People go to me, LB, Ari Shin said it, you can run for vice president. I have no aspirations, political aspirations at all. I need Marianne to do it because she's just, who she is to do it. If I could, if we were best friends and we talked, I'll go, girl, what the hell? Why you want to do that? Let's go on. Let's go on vacation. But I know how serious she is about this. And so I'm willing to sacrifice everything I can. And I'm so honored that she has allowed me to work in the capacity that I am for her. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm scared. I'm scared for our country. And I'm really scared of disappointing Marianne. Because I don't want her slapping me around like for real. We can do the stage slap, but I don't want to be like, LB, you underperformer. I love her. I love my country. I love my family. I love my mama. I love my kids. I can't put them in the hands of a Trump or a Biden. I don't want grandchildren because of these evil bastards. I'm so glad none of my children have kids. I'm scared that my kids might have kids because then I would have grandchildren. And I love children so much. I am so afraid of how much I might love a grandchild. And the only one I would trust my grandchildren with is her. That's why she has to run, because she has a dear, precious grandbaby. That's why she has to run. So I love you guys. We're all here for the right reason. Marianne is running for the right reason. I believe in miracles. I would like everybody, please visualize Marianne in that presidential seat in that office. We don't have to know exactly how she's going to get there. Let's just visualize her there, because we believe in miracles, because Marianne taught us to believe in miracles. God bless you.
What I saw, LB, when you said that, I got a vision of Marianne with her hand on the Bible and at the inauguration.
Let's keep that vision.
Mm-hmm.
Namaste.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget, everyone, to go to Marianne2024.com and donate.
What we are going through right now is baked into the cake here. Marianne, what are we going to do? Marianne, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Marianne, what are we going to do?
Hey. Baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, ay, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, baked in a cake, yeah, we baked in a cake.
If government isn't doing its job, then the people have the right to alter it.
We trying to fight that racial injustice. We headed to the White House, I love this. They want us to give up, but we got this. We not going away, we the topic. We going state to state with the evidence until we make some change like the president. Marianne is the one to get the job done. A better democracy is the outcome. Baked in a cake, 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 baked in a cake. Woo!
That split mind, which is American consciousness, is baked into the cake, baked into the cake, baked into the cake.
Baked in a cake, 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 baked in a cake.
Once again, let the people get in there. We'll handle it from here. I have run for president before. I am not naive. I understand that in their mind, only those people whose careers have been entrenched in the car that drove us into this ditch should possibly be considered qualified to lead us out of this. No, ladies and gentlemen, the problem is not that it's complicated. The problem is that it is corrupt. A real grown-up does not knowingly allow a child to go hungry. And an emergency level just transition from a war economy to a peace economy. No one person can fix it. The president who lays it down and says it like it is would do a lot of good.
Yay!
Thank you guys. Bless you.